on social media land, I'm the Backwoods Mechanic. Today I'm going to apologize for the loud air compressor in my garage, but I've got a garage that's got a big loud air compressor, so we're just going to have to work around it. Now today we're going to be working on a 2003 Ford Econoline van. I've done all kinds of work to this thing. Whole new front suspension, new shocks, new brakes, new everything. Now I'm going to give it some new spark plugs, and today I'm going to take you along for the ride. But before we dive into that, I'm going to show you some of the things I'm working with, such as the basic mechanics tool set that you can pick up from your local CarQuest. Works great. You ain't got to go out here and spend a ton of money. Learn to do things yourself. Save yourself a headache from going down to the dealership, having them do it for you, when you can do this stuff for yourself. Now for starters, you might need yourself a good shop light, which I've got right here. It's a Hyper Tough shop light. I've got a video of a tool review I done on this. I'll have it in the link description below. You can check it out about what product this is, but as you can see, it's a really good light. Now we need a basic little tool set, which is what I've got right here. Picked it up from CarQuest. They actually had a sale on it during the holidays. Autocraft tool set, picked it up for $30. It's got lifetime warranty on it, 140-piece set. Now let's pull her open here and show you what she looks like. And this is a great little set right here. Didn't have to spend a whole lot of money on it. If you're doing it yourself, you can go pick something up like this and get to work. The actual wrenches in this set is really, really nice. They're longer than your typical set of wrenches. Autocraft's a pretty decent little name brand. I've used these wrenches several different times. It actually comes with a ratcheting screwdriver set here. It's got all the little bits you'll need, all the little accessories, and this will ratchet back and forth, turn left or right, whichever way you need. You've got your basic millimeter and standard Allen heads, and then over here, of course, you've got your 3/8 drive, your quarter drive. It comes with 2 swivel heads. It also comes with 2 extensions. It also comes with your basic 4-ways, your basic Allens, your basic Torques, your adapters in case you want to twist them by hand. It's got your deep weld sockets here. It's got your 2 spark plug sockets, and it's got your smaller sockets here and the shallow ends. And you also got them in 3/8. You got them in 1/4 too. This is a great little set for anybody who's just getting started in the mechanic work or wants to just do something yourself. You save enough money buying this and buying your plugs and doing it yourself than you do paying for a mechanic. But we're working on a 2003 Ford Econoline cargo van, and we're going to start by unhooking this battery over here. This particular van is an 8mm socket. Get yourself your 1/4-inch drive. Go ahead and loosen this thing up. We're going to have to clean that terminal off too, because that green stuff you see right there is a little bit of corrosion. And you definitely want to clean that off so it don't eat up your battery. Go ahead and unplug the hot terminal here, and then we'll work our way over to your air filter. Air filter, first thing you're going to do is take this little clip off right here, push this up right here, this thing pulls right off. We'll worry about changing, cleaning the air filter later. Take all this stuff off, put it to the side, and then you're going to need these, which I have marked on this van. 8mm here, 8mm up here. Take this off, take this off, take this off. I'm going to switch this out for this. This is also, it's basically like an extension, all right, with a handle on it. So you can use them things like here to pull these bolts off here, pull these off here. I mean, this is really nice, easy, good little toolkit to have on hand. And once you pull this breather off here, what you need to do is pull it up slowly, because you're going to have a wire harness right here that goes to your mass airflow. And you're going to have to take this, push down on this little clip with a little flathead screwdriver or something, and pull it apart. And then you're going to take that right there out. Wire harness is unplugged. You don't take just a second, and you get this, what normal people call water clamp off here. Take that off. It goes to the throttle body. Pop it right off. Now on the back side of this, there is going to be a breather tube, and it should easily slide off too, but you're going to want to make sure that this particular piece is also disconnected from this. Now the reason that I'm taking this off from the front end is because certain plugs on this van, you're going to have to reach from the front and from the back. You're going to go from the inside and from the outside on this particular cargo van and other vans that are built just like this. As you can see, the coil pack is right back in there. Now you can get that pretty much from the inside of the vehicle. But the actual spark plugs run all the way up through here, and you've got to get in behind all these wires to get to it. Just like over here, which I'm sure you might be able to see a little bit better. The spark plug wires run right down the side here also, and you're going to need to be able to reach back in there to get your socket on everything. And that's honestly why I picked up this particular ratchet from Harbor Freight for about $10. It's a specialty ratchet. Whenever you're taking things like spark plugs out, this thing will come in handy and you don't got to spend a fortune. I've also done a tool review on it. You can check it out in the link in the description below. Now when you come inside of these cargo vans, the first thing you want to do is take this particular piece off of this van. And you can do that by reaching up and under it and just kind of pecking on it, and it will pop straight up and off. There might be a clip underneath some models you'll have to feel around, but it should, for the most part, pull straight up and off of here. Let me try to show you if I can do this one-handed. Yes, I can. And then you just set it off to the side, which exposes the part that you need to take off next to get to the inside, which is the latches on each side. There's one down here, and there's this one right back here, and that one's not even been latched. So that's what you got to pull apart there. These, I guess, have already been unlatched from somebody before me. So we're going to take that off next. Now the worst problem about taking these things off is you're going to have to wiggle it back and forth around this rubber so you don't tear the rubber all to pieces. This is an older van, but it's still a customer's vehicle. So what you got to do is make sure that you take care of the customer's stuff whenever you're working on it. And you just kind of pry things back and forth, and you work from side to side, and you just keep pushing this rubber mat up and under it until this pulls completely off. Whenever you get it out and it comes out of here, you're going to want to pull it out of the vehicle and set it outside, and then that gives you access to the back end of the motor and the transmission. Now this is what it looks like from the back passenger side. You can get right on top of the coil packs, which is them right there. You got your spark plugs and stuff on them. I've already changed this once in the past. As you can see, the coil pack's pretty new. But the plugs, you follow the plug wires and it shows you right where they're at, which is down here in between the exhaust manifold, which is always a pain in the ass to get to. And that's exactly why I have that special ratchet that I showed you just a second ago. Now, if you got a V6, you can go ahead and expect that you're going to have 3 plugs on one side, 3 plugs on the other. If you got a V8, it's that same thing. You're going to have 4 on one side, 4 on the other to make up the 8 cylinders. That's how these engines are built and how they work for those do-it-yourselfers out there. And if you have any doubts on where the wires are, you go from that coil pack right there and you start tracing them to the plug that they go to, just like this. You trace it all the way over to the other side and find out where it goes to, and you repair one at a time. And for those of you who haven't thought about this yet, when you're working on these vehicles do-it-yourselfers, make sure that it's cooled down, because you're going to be sticking your hands back in where the actual exhaust manifold is, and it will burn you. So you want it to cool down for a little while. Get you a good cheap pair of gloves, or mechanics gloves. I use them. You can pick them up at Walmart for $20. And make sure that you're seeing what you're doing, because you can jab yourself on any little thing down here, and before you know it, you're in the hospital getting a tetanus shot, or you're going to have to stop what you're doing and prolong the process. Which I'm going against my own advice right here, because there's one plug wire right back here, and I start my way from the back to the front, and then you can usually pull on these things and make sure it's got gentle, proper pressure, and it'll pop right off. But you'll bust your knuckles against something because of the suction that's on these things here. As you can see, it pops right off. The actual spark plug is right here, which is where we're going to put the socket and the ratchet at. I picked up these spark plugs for this model van at CarQuest Auto Light. They're pretty good spark plugs.